Ernie, how does it look for the San Joaquin Valley area?
Our May survey of individuals that make purchasing decisions for the companies that we surveyed for May, the number was down, and here you'll see the overall index, the San Joaquin Valley Index compared to the U.S. index. And as you see, the San Joaquin Valley Index has come down two months in a row, but still well above growth neutral. 50 is growth neutral, and these individuals are sort of the canary in the coal mine for the overall economy, for the San Joaquin Valley or the Central Valley. And what we're seeing again is growth for the next 3 to 6 months, and that growth is going to be well above the U.S. average. And of course, that's new for the San Joaquin Valley, which really has lagged the U.S. economy in terms of coming out of this recession. We're seeing some rebounds here. A lot of that's connected to housing. The housing sector is looking much better in the San Joaquin Valley, and now we're not seeing a lot of new jobs in housing, but we're seeing a lot of increases in purchasing, and that's spilling over into businesses that we survey, and that's showing up in our April survey, showed up in our May survey. So I'm expecting growth for the next 3 to 6 months.
What about employment for the region?
Employment is looking good. Now, manufacturing jobs not as strong as we'd like to see, but we're seeing with the value of the dollar has increased by 5% since the beginning of the year. Now, what that does is makes San Joaquin Valley products less competitively priced abroad, and we're seeing that. But even with those price increases, and that's particularly true for agricultural products, even with that, looking very good in terms of exports. The export index was almost up to 60. Again, 0 to 100, anything above 50, 50 is growth neutral. So close to 60 is good in terms of exports, so that was a good number for the month of May. We're looking better in terms of exports, and of course, what's being done in terms of trade pacts, looking much better. China, for example, South Korea. Even though growth has slowed there, we're still seeing pretty good growth in exports, even with a stronger U.S. dollar.
How does this translate into the confidence index for the region?
Confidence was strong for the month of May, and of course, we ask about federal spending sequestration, a non-event. Businesses that we survey, as much as 80 to 90% saying spending sequestration is having almost no impact. 10% said a very modest impact. Of course, that's good, but it just shows the diminished importance of what's coming out of Washington and what's coming out of these strong businesses in the San Joaquin Valley that are hiring now. We ask about wage growth, what they expected in terms of wage growth for the next year, about 2 to 2.5%. Now, that may not sound like much, but it's well above the 1 to 1.5% that we got back in February when we asked the same question. So not only are we seeing growth in jobs, we're seeing growth in wages. Still not strong enough on either side to say that this is a real strong recovery, but it is a recovery. And again, the San Joaquin Valley has lagged the U.S. in terms of that recovery. Now we're seeing a bit of a pickup. In other words, the growth that I'm expecting for the San Joaquin Valley is going to be better than the U.S. in the next 3 to 6 months.
What else about the region that you found interesting in this survey?
One thing that's certainly true is the inflation, the wholesale inflation is coming down, and that's a good thing. We ask about price growth for the next year, and they are expecting 5% growth. Now, that sounds like a lot, but this is much lower than in February when we asked the same question, when it was 6% growth. So what this means for the average business out there, for the consumer out there, is that the Federal Reserve will continue to keep their foot on the economic accelerator, meaning they're going to keep interest rates low at record low levels by buying long-term bonds. So we're going to see interest rates rise a bit, but it's not going to be what a lot of economists are expecting, where some economists are expecting interest rates to bounce much higher. They're going to bounce higher, but not significantly higher. That's good news coming out of our May survey. Again, businesses that we're surveying in the San Joaquin Valley are telling us inflationary pressures are coming down, and they're still there, which is a good thing. We'd hate to see deflation, which would really be a real concern for the San Joaquin Valley economy and for the U.S. economy. Well, again, I think the best number coming out of the survey for the month of May was exports looking strong. And trade is a very important factor, very important input for the San Joaquin Valley economy. We're going to continue to see that. I think even with the value of the dollar growing, which makes U.S. goods less competitive abroad, even with that growth, we're seeing things looking better for the San Joaquin Valley. Although agricultural income is probably going to be down from last year at the same time, it's still strong, still a strong agricultural sector, and we're seeing that in our survey. And again, housing looking strong for the San Joaquin Valley. Manufacturing looking better in terms of new orders, better in terms of most factors, but not a lot of new hiring, even and durable goods and even non-durable goods. So I'd like to see that pick up. That's one thing that we're going to be looking for in the months ahead for the San Joaquin Valley and in our survey for Cal State Fresno.